trigger happy. They don't care what color you are. They shoot and ask questions later.
When you're in a fight for your life and you're losing, all bets are off.
Hey, Sheriff's Department, stop!
These men are unarmed, getting the death penalty for sometimes not even committing a crime.
Stay with me. We got pulled over for a busted tail light in the back, and the police he's covered. He's killed my boyfriend. He's licensed. He's licensed to carry. He was trying to get out his ID and his wallet out his pocket, and he let the officer know that he had a firearm and he was reaching for his wallet, and the officer just shot him in his arm. We're waiting for back. I will, sir. No worries. I will. He just shot his arm off. We got pulled over on Larpener.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God! Please don't tell me he's dead. Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like that.
Keep your hands where they are, please.
Yes, I will, sir. I'll keep my hands where they are. Please don't tell me this, Lord. Please, Jesus, don't tell me that he's gone. Please don't tell me that he's gone. Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him. You shot 4 bullets into him, sir. He was just getting his license and registration, sir.
Get the female passenger out.
Man, exit the car right now with your hands up. Let me see your hands. Exit now. Keep them up. Keep them up. Face
Where's my daughter?
You
You got my daughter?
face away from me and walk backwards. Walk backwards towards me. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Get on your knees. Get on your knees.
Executed by the police. And my first reaction was, oh no, not this gentleman. Not this really kind, profoundly gentle and thoughtful and responsible man.
The 2 fatal shootings are just the latest in a long list of incidents that resulted in the deaths of black people at the hands of police officers. As Mike Drolet explains, it has been more than 50 years since the civil rights movement, but race relations is still a major issue in the U.S.
It all seems so familiar. The protests, the calls to action, the anger.
I'm mad! I'm so mad! I'm angry!
And she's speaking for a growing number of Americans who are asking how this keeps on happening. This week it was Louisiana, in Minnesota, in 2014, Ferguson, Missouri, in 2015, Charleston, South Carolina, Chicago, and on and on.
These things don't only happen when they get caught on camera. So this is something that happens all the time. So when you see this happen on camera again and again and again, it's like, wow.
The statistics actually prove there hasn't been an increase in police-related deaths involving blacks over the past 3 years. We're just seeing more because of cell phone cameras. But the issue is real, and the statistics are damning. In 2015, a Louisville study looked at 93 fatal shootings in the U.S. involving unarmed people. Of those, 40% were black. Put another way, blacks were 7 times more likely than unarmed white men to be shot and killed.
Race does play a factor, that there's implicit bias going on where officers may perceive black suspects to be a greater threat or to be more prone to having committed a crime.
And that suggests a much deeper societal problem. In the U.S., whites make up 63% of the population, blacks 12%. Yet in the prison system, 37% are black, 34% white. Race, 50 years after the civil rights movement, is still a hot-button issue. And it's not just victims' families screaming for change. Ohio police officer Nakia Jones couldn't stay silent anymore.
It bothers me when I hear people say, y'all police officers this, y'all police officers that. If you are white and you working in a black community and you are racist, you need to be ashamed of yourself.
We've seen this anger before, but in Louisiana and Minnesota, no doubt they're asking if this is the ending or just another chapter. Mike Drolet, Global News, Toronto.
Please don't shoot me. But why did they shot the black boy and not the fat boy?
Yeah, what are you doing? Get out. For what? Out. Now. For what? Out. Hey, am I under arrest? Get out. Am I under arrest? Out. I'm going to pull you out if you don't come out. Pardon me, please. Get out. You really want to get tased right here in the middle of your car? For what? I haven't done anything, officer. What, am I under arrest? Yes. Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Come out of the car. Am I under arrest? All right, fine. Just get out. Out. What? Out right now. Out of the car. Out of the car. Taser deployment. On the ground. Out of the car. On the ground. On the ground. Ah! I told you. Hands behind your back. Stand up.
handcuffed and forced to kneel on the floor. 3 men are slapped and hit by Mexico City police officers. This is the third video to be leaked in less than 2 weeks, showing Mexican police and soldiers torturing people during an interrogation. 3 high-level officials have since apologized, including the Secretary of Defense.
These horrible actions, although isolated, taint our image and the prestige we've gained for over 100 years.
Jethro Ramses was disfigured with acid and buried alive in 2011. Police and the military are suspected of involvement in the murder of the 26-year-old graduate student. 3 members of the military are in jail awaiting trial.
The whole family sees this movie in our heads again and again. What these people did is something you can't describe with words. One of the reasons we want justice is so this doesn't happen again.
But Jethro's case is unique because people are facing charges. Thousands of other cases go unpunished.
Unfortunately, torture and serious human rights violations make up some of the 98% of cases with impunity in Mexico. According to the information from the Attorney General, we know that there are currently no more than 6 sentences for torture in Mexico, and that number doesn't reflect the number of reports that increases each year.
The prevalence of torture has created both fear and acceptance. An Amnesty International survey showed 60% of Mexicans are afraid they'll be tortured if detained, but 1/3 said they support its use. Jethro's family says they're too consumed by their own pain to think about other victims of torture. They're angry, but they're channeling that anger to create a school named after Jethro. Natasha Ganem, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.